William Morrow and HarperAudio present A Dangerous Breed, a novel by Glen Erik Hamilton, performed by Stephen Mendel. Prologue. We were in the air, falling backward. The black water of Puget Sound coursed 10 feet below, glints of moonlight defining gentle waves. For an instant, there was no sound at all. Then the police car hit hard and speared below the surface, bobbing swiftly back up to slap the waves flat. The impact threw me face first into the clear plastic barrier separating the rear of the car from the empty driver's seat. Blood erupted from my lip. I yanked myself upright, hampered by handcuffs that bound my wrists behind my back and the heavy bulk of the man lying half across me. The car window pressed his head into an awkward angle, deforming his cheek. A puff of breath condensed on the glass. He was alive, for now. We began to dip forward, borne down by the mass of the cruiser's V8. Seawater bubbled and splashed into the front compartment. In seconds, it had swamped the pedals. A briny reek overwhelmed the tang of blood in my mouth. I twisted in my seat, trying to feel for the tiny piece of bent metal I'd dropped in our fall. The car leaned toward the icy deep as if eager for its embrace. Half a minute, maybe less, before the roiling water would fill the interior. I pushed at the unconscious man with my shoulder, trying to gain a few more inches of space, but there was nowhere for his body to move. The cold lent a razor's sting to every gasp of air. My grasping fingers brushed the hard plastic seat, only to slide away again. Heavy diesels churned nearby. The barge from which we had fallen began moving away from the sinking car and toward the shore. 4 miles off, the city sparkled in the clear night. I had one final glimpse of those glittering lights before the waves shrouded the windshield outside and darkness consumed both of us. Me and the man I'd met for the first time barely 1 week before. A week of violence and death, and the hard proof about the identity of the man about to drown alongside me. My father. 1. 13 days ago. Bully Betty's grand reopening was a triumph, threatening to collapse into tragedy. By midnight, the main room of the bar was almost bulging at the seams, a crush of 24 warm bodies past any sensible capacity. Word about the new location had spread, and then some. Betty's first weekend on Capitol Hill attracted her kind of crowd. Queer techies, theater vamps wearing tailored tartan suits, horn-rimmed creatives with enough side hustles to fill a resume. A combined target demo that might be narrow anywhere but Seattle. All the revelers temporarily free from their holiday obligations and end-of-year deadlines, ready to shake themselves slack. "Van!" A+ shouting from 10 feet away. I read her perfectly glossed lips more than I heard the words over the din of 100 other voices. 2 sour ales, 3 tequila shots with lime, 2 house bourbon. She flashed French manicured fingers to make sure I caught the count. A+ and the other bartenders handled the showy job of making cocktails. I pulled all the pints and poured bottles with both hands to keep the river of well drinks flowing. Factory work. The arrangement suited both sides. They kept the tips, and I didn't have to make small talk. Betty had allowed a few concessions to her loyalists in the new place. At the corner of the bar nearest me, a muted television streamed a rerun of the UW women's basketball game against Oregon State. The Huskies had an ace power forward this year who was expected to turn pro a year early. I knew all this because the knot of women glued to the action had been singing the player's praises since tip-off. "All that technical crap, like executing the game plan," one fan in a sleeveless T-shirt proclaimed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?